The Toronto and the GTA real estate markets have been a very confusing space since the beginning of the year. On the one hand, we have high interest rate environment that is aimed to crush the demand, and in fact, many analysts in 2022 were predicting that this spring will be the bottom of the market and the prices would drop by about 30% due to the lack of the demand. On the other hand, and this is what's happening right now, we are finding ourselves in a highly competitive marketplace where multiple offers are happening pretty much all across the board, and things are selling well above over asking. No wonder that even the news outlets can get a full grasp of the situation and are publishing contradicting news like this, only to further the confusion among the people. Hey guys, it's Ivan, and today I'd like to chat with you about the real estate markets in the Toronto and the GTA, specifically what happened in the month of February. We're going to take a look at some data, statistics, and numbers to figure out where we're at on the market right now and potentially where we are going for the rest of the year. There's a lot of data to unpack as always, so let's not waste time and let's begin. But before we go any further, I'd like to take a stab at figuring out where this confusion is coming from. And in my opinion, the confusion is coming from how we look at the data and what we are comparing that data to. So in real estate, we usually look at either year-over-year statistics or month-over-month. And so we always need to question what happened last year and what we're comparing it to. And if we go back to January of 2022, the Bank of Canada had announced that they will be hiking the interest rates around March of 2022. And of course, many people who wanted to secure a lower interest rate rushed back into the market in January and February of last year to secure those rates. This caused quite a significant bump in the demand and of course a bump in prices. So needless to say, January and February of 22 were outlier months, and they were kind of an anomaly. Now, if we were to compare the month-over-month data, we are seeing a completely different picture. The last 3 months of 2022 were pretty much a slumber party. Things were not moving at all. There were not a lot of transactions taking place. Fast forward to January of this year, and things flipped on its head, and it seems like many buyers who were on the sidelines last year decided to get back into the market this year, and they were only encouraged to keep buying properties with the fixed interest rates coming down, and the Bank of Canada signaling that there will be a pause in the interest rate hike policy, for now at least. So in other words, no one could have predicted the outcome of these interest rate hikes, but what we're seeing right now is actually pretty much the opposite of what the analysts were predicting last year, with the multiple offers and things are selling much above over asking pretty much all across the board in the GTA. So in other words, this is a long-winded way of saying that how you look at the statistics and what you compare that statistics to matters a lot. And here I'm including the slides for both year-over-year and month-over-month, both in Toronto and the GTA, so you guys can take a look at them and make your own decisions and opinions about the real estate market. And as we head into the spring market, buyer interest in Toronto homes is heating up, especially for more affordable property types. According to the Toronto Real Estate Board, sales of every property type in the city of Toronto and the GTA increased on a month-over-month basis. So for example, condo apartments sales rose by 34% month-over-month, while detached unit sales increased by 33%. Also in February, the number of newly listed properties increased by 8,367 units compared to 7,688 in January. But supply remains tight, with an average of just 2.2 months of inventory available across the Toronto region. Places like Milton, Toronto East, Newmarket, and Whitby each have less than 2 months of inventory, with Whitby and Clarington having just 1.3 months of inventory each, the lowest level across the entire Toronto region. The average sale price in February was about 1.1 million, which is an increase of 5% month over month. But the highest average selling price increase was actually in the city of Toronto, with the detached houses jumping by 15% month over month to an average of just over 1,700,000. In the GTA, the buyers are still favoring a more affordable property type, causing the average of townhouse to increase by about 6% to 917,000, and prices of detached homes rose by 4.5% since January to 1,360,000. So the one question I keep asking myself is what is going to happen next, especially when the Bank of Canada starts cutting the interest rates. We're already experiencing very visible demand and a supply crunch. And we are introducing about a million and a half new immigrants between now and 2025, while the supply of new housing is stalling due to high interest rate environments. The builders basically don't take out construction loans because the construction loans are expensive. Last year, a survey conducted by Zoocasa showed that 60% of respondents were still planning to buy a house despite the higher interest rates. And let's also not forget about the people who got outpriced out of the market last year and were forced to rent at the historically high rental rates. Needless to say that these folks are just waiting for the rates to come down, and they will jump on an opportunity to buy a home, a condo, or whatever they can afford the moment that affordability comes back to them. So to sum it all up, we're finding ourselves in the middle of a highly competitive marketplace already despite the higher interest rates, and this competition will probably gonna get even more fierce the moment the Bank of Canada decides to cut the interest rates, which can happen at the end of this year. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this information useful to make your own decisions and opinions about the real estate market. But if you want to chat more about it with me, feel free to contact me. All my contact info is below. Until the next time, take care. Bye-bye.